Real Talk More, only place where you're gonna get the most common sense, right? Because it's not that common anymore, and people are goofballs. Right? So another thing I wanted to talk about yesterday, like I said, we just putting out a video this week about it, and it's gonna be about people coming together, the middle people, right? Because you got fringe on the left, fringe on the right, and the people in the middle are the people with the common sense, right? They kind of can see things as the way it is instead of trying to push a certain agenda or whatever. So, and that's where you get it. Real Talk with Mo Lou Mo podcast. So another thing I want to talk about. Now, I just another post I talked about Silicon Valley. This one I want to talk about the insurrection thing. These things can be true. All these things can be true, right? It can be true that the protest at the time was okay. Nobody, the one outside of the Capitol. Then it could also be true that a bunch of idiots, right, decide to go into the Capitol building. Right, probably, some drunk idiots and some not drunk idiots went into the Capitol building and they just wanted to go in there and just mess stuff up, right? It's the same thing as when kids used to break into the school afterwards and paint the walls or throw the books away or something like that, right? Same thing, right? So again, these things can be all be true. Should the people that did that go to jail? Yes, right? They should go to jail. They should get this. They should get this punishment that's this that goes with what they did. Um, they go to court and all that stuff. Was there also some other stuff going on where people were just like walking around and taking pictures on Nancy Pelosi's desk and kind of walked in after with it as it goes? Yes. Were they trying to insurrect, like take over and tell the government that they have to recount the votes or something like that? No, right? Like they didn't go in there with guns and hold it to anybody's head or try to get somebody kidnap somebody so that they could tell them, you know, make sure that the votes are overturned or we're gonna take you out type of thing. So it's a little different, right? Because we don't put these all things we put these words on things and they make them to this level that it doesn't make sense. When this story is heard about, this is what they try to do. They're trying to make it. I know it. Most part of it is they trying to make Trump's legacy like really bad, right? So, if we look at this 100 years from now and they say it was the insurrection of January 6th, most people with common sense and a brain are going to be like, thinking it was a coup, right? Like they did in, I think it was the Philippines or whatever more recently, right? Where the tanks and the army went there to try to take over, right? To try to take back the government type of thing. This was not that. So, these things can be true. Do they need to go to jail for being stupid? Yes, right? And the only person that did that was somebody who was one of the insurrectionist people, protesters. I don't want to say insurrection, protesters people. So the cops that died afterwards and all sorts of stuff. So was it bad? Yes. The same thing can be said for the protests, right? The protests for BLM and all that, right? The people who were outside protesting, great. Must do what you do. But the people who are out breaking shit and looting shit, go to jail, right? If we get to that, if we can just get to that common sense point, then we all be on the same page, right? Because nobody really, really especially on the right side, is agreeing with what happened, right? They're not agreeing. They're not saying, "Oh yeah, they should have did it." The protest is the voice of the people, right? Nobody's saying that. But on the left, you always hear a lot of that, and it gets a little ridiculous. But if we were both on the thing of if you do stupid shit, you got to go to jail, you got to get punishment, and then you can also go and protest, whatever the hell you want to do. We can come to that common ground. Problem is we can't because we got to make one better than the other, and we got to push more than we push and all. This is what we talk about on Normal Podcast. Real talk with Mo, common sense, real people talking about real shit.